Namaste. Myself, Advocate C.S. Deepthi Dore from Pune. I am a corporate lawyer practicing in Pune around corporate laws, employment laws, and contract laws, and prevention of sexual harassment related laws. I welcome you all to this session of mine on impact of COVID-19 on Indian contracts, mergers and acquisition transactions, and employment laws. Before I begin the session, I would like to thank the management of KTHM College Nashik for this wonderful program of faculty development. I would also like to place my sincere gratitude to CS Sagar Kulkarni for connecting me to this esteemed college, and of course Dr. Vasanta Boraste sir and CMA Maithili Malpure ma'am for taking tremendous efforts in putting this program in front of all of you. I would sincerely like to thank all of this and of course the viewers of this program who are taking part enthusiastically in this virtual program of faculty development. Thank you. Now, before I begin the session, I would just like to take you a bit at the backdrop of this session and what are you gaining out of this session and how the impact of COVID-19 is on the business. So, impact of COVID-19, if we saw India faced the first lockdown on 25th of March onwards, wherein the first phase of lockdown was initiated by the government of India. Of course, now social distancing is not a new term to us, and work from home has become a new normal to us. So when this first lockdown was initiated, what we saw was it was a complete lockdown and a complete restriction of the movements of the people involved, of the transactions involved, except for that of the essentials and of course like groceries, what we saw, or pharma or hospital management and doctors, nurses, and of course the cleaning staff. So this was a first time dead reality that we had to face, that we are the movement is completely restricted. The trains stopped, the plane stopped flying, and not only this, but the movement of goods and everything saw a huge disruption. So, of course, there was a great growing uncertainty with reference to this, and since the cases were rising as we saw, there was initiated a lockdown 2 and lockdown 3, and now we are in lockdown unlock mode also in terms of 4. But still, there are hotspot and areas where there are huge COVID cases which are rising, and the restriction is still there on the movements of people involved. And plus, if at all there are any factories or any businesses, still there is a restrictions on it. So, what has this created? Because of this entire restriction of movement on people, we saw that when the recent results were announced of the companies involved, there was huge impact on certain industries like aviation industry, hotels and restaurants. If you see, they are still not open. There is only a partial delivery or a takeaway kind of option which is being granted to them. Plus, retail had been badly affected because of this unlock down, though it has started, but the lockdown had created a huge and tremendous impact on the transactions of these industries. So, like we saw that the first domestic flight, took off on 25th of May 2020, and there was a stoppage of entire flights, entire railways, except for goods movement and etc. Or the essentials, or the people who were being expatriated and people who were being repatriated as well. There was also a medium impact seen on the automobile industry, buildings, construction industry, real estate, because what we saw was most of the migrant workers moved from their working place to their hometown. So, which was this construction industry, as we all know, is highly driven by the labor. And when the labor is not there, of course, they are not able to perform the construction related work and all. We also saw that if you must have seen the results, the April results were almost most of the automobile industry players like the largest passenger car maker Maruti Suzuki India, Hyundai, they reported zero domestic sales in the month of April, and that was the gravity and impact which COVID 19 created. That despite everything, it was just a standstill, and no sales were reported, domestic sales were reported by these automobile industries. Now, of course, what we also saw that there was definitely and there is still impact on the education sector and other sectors. The most uninterrupted organizations, or where, of course, the pharma industry, where it's in boom like kind of situation where pharma is all control, and the drugs manufacturing where it was in full fledged, plus the generic industry like the vegetables, or the generic industry like shopkeepers, what we saw, the grocery was up and running. So the essentials, basically the industry did not suffer a huge impact, or rather the sale was so much that we all know that we didn't get a typical brand product, or a which we like, or the cleaning products which we typically wanted, we may not have got it, or the sanitizers like Dettol and all, they were all in the stocks. You didn't see that you were not getting a particular brand product. So this created a positive impact because the demand was so much, but the supply was not that great, maybe because of the restriction on the transport, or maybe the restriction due to the supply or manufacturing, and of course because the hotspots were completely banned in terms of their movement and restrictions. So yes, this created a great impact. Some on some industries like FMCG or pharma, it was the demand rose high, whereas the hotel industry, the travel industry is still suffering, because if you see, travel is still not allowed, and even if it is in unlock mode now, I'm sure how much you and me are going to travel recently with the impact of COVID still across the country, not only country but the world. So the travel industry or the gymnasiums or education sector is still not able to cope up from the COVID-19 impact. And that's why it becomes very crucial to understand that when there is so much of disruption, when there is so much of uncertainty in the market, what is going to be the next, and how the industry are going to cope up with respect to COVID-19. Because the reason also being that even still we have not got the vaccine or a permanent kind of solution to this COVID-19. So as the people are saying that there would be a second phase of COVID kind of thing, or even the people who have once contracted with COVID may also get another, or whatever is being talked about. So the reasons being, it becomes very important for us to understand that how this COVID-19 has created an impact on business, because ultimately you and me as a consumer, or you and me as a manufacturer, are going to get impacted by this COVID-19 scenarios. So let's take a quick understanding that what are the if we just correlate now to the contracts, or if we now correlate with how things are being difficult for the industry as such, let's understand for a while that okay, we are saying this is COVID, we know it is social distancing, but that is for us, but what the industry is suffering. So if you see that what COVID-19 has created impacts on contracts. So basically, as we see, there is a supply chain, then there is a transactions between a wholesaler and a retailer, transactions between manufacturer and their suppliers, and transactions between B2B, B2C, what we typically call as. So what did this COVID-19 created an impact on contracts? So the first aspect what we see is it made the performance of the contract difficult or impossible. Now, how difficult and impossible? Because as we all know, there was restriction on the movement of people, and there was restriction for non-essentials to certain extent on the goods, or the kind of the supply, or the manufacturing of raw materials as well. So if I am a worker in a manufacturing setup, I am not able to go to my manufacturing setup and manufacture the goods. So here, even though everything is like raw material is there, but you're not able to perform the contract. So A, what it created was made the performance of the contract or the obligations like to deliver the goods in on a particular date or deliver or manufacture or supply the services. It made difficult or maybe impossible to the extent when the lockdown was there. So it created an issues on the obligations and rights of the parties. Now we all know that there are a lot of leases around in wherein the factories lease the premises, they have a setup office setup, say for example. So here what happened was, though your office is on lease, you're unable to go to the premises because the movement is being restricted. So what happened was, you're not able to enjoy the property, you're not able to enjoy things, but the payment obligation remained. So this created also a commercial hardships. Plus, there was a notification by the Ministry of Home Affairs that you cannot stop your labor payments or you cannot stop the wages of salaries, and likewise, which was in an advisory form being issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs. So here A, your top line, that is a sales line, is not increasing. There is a zero sales which is happening, like say for example the automobile sector or the aviation industry, or for example the restaurants who are not able to perform or cater to the customers. Whereas your lease rent continue, your labor payments continue, the other obligations which you had continue. So this also created a lot of commercial hardships to these kind of industries. So A, there is a delay in performance, there is a impossibility of performance, plus there are commercial hardships because your sales is not growing, but you have obligations or payments to be made. So this also caused financial hardships, and the commercial hardships were that okay, I'm wanting to deliver the goods but I'm not able to deliver the goods. So this also caused like the transport is being restricted, the movements is being restricted. So this caused the commercial plus the financial hardships. And what we also saw, like in the cases of lease kind of scenarios where the obligations had to be there but without enjoyment of the rights which you had. So that's why this impact of COVID-19 on contracts is a very essential thing to understand, that how this can be coped up or how this is being coped up by the industry as a whole. So if I have to understand that, okay, now I have this situation in front of me as a business promoter or as a businessman, now how I'm going to take advantage or how I'm going to take a leverage of this kind of situation. Because yes, as we all know, we have, if we see the contracts, there is a most debated now in the current scenario, the most debated concept is about force majeure. So, in the next segment, we are going to see how this COVID-19, and we can check with how force majeure can help in this kind of scenario, and what is a doctrine of frustration and doctrine of impossibility. Because these two terms are being the most debated concepts which are being discussed in the industry, and most of the time, if you see that these are being leveraged to kind of take the situation and basically face the situation which is being very difficult for the businessmen as such, because like I told you, the payments is to be made but you're not enjoying either the top line, that is the sales has been impacted, or you're not able to garner any sales for a particular month. So the next segment which we are going to discuss is all about force majeure clause and doctrine of frustration and doctrine of impossibility, and how COVID-19 this scenarios become very crucial, and how industry does take an advantage or leverage of these terms. Okay, so we'll meet in the next session now. Thank you.